My name is Kelsey Phillips, and this is my story. Growing up, I was in a Christian home, and my parents were very involved in the church that we were in. So God was very much in the center of our family and of our household. As I was going through high school, it started to become more real to me. I made some wrong friend choices, and through that, my attitude became very grim, and I didn't know where I was going in life. I was led to an older high school man, and he was trying to pursue me. And of course, you get excited about that when an older guy is pursuing you when you're a little freshman. Through dating, I got more and more distant from God and more in awe of this man that I was dating. And I looked up to him like he was, this wonderful person, and how could he do wrong? And I was just lost in him. So when he would ask me if I loved him, of course I would say yes. But then the next statement took me by surprise. He would say, well, if you love me, then you would have sex with me. And I froze. I sat there and I thought, this isn't what my parents told me that love was. So I sat there and I thought to myself, well, if you loved me, then you would know that I wanted to wait. And I said to him with all the courage a little 14-year-old girl would have, I don't think I'm comfortable with that. I don't want this right now. And I was hoping that he would understand that. But he didn't, and he had his mind made up already. More and more I would just get led down that path of sexual sin, not knowing that I had the choice to say no, and being confused of, is this what love really is? Is this what this is going to be like for me now? And then time moved on, and I kind of moved on as well, and through different relationships, that's what I would think love was. And so if I would date somebody for a long enough time, I felt like I had to give them sex for them to love me. I was so mad at God that he had let that happen to me as a freshman in high school. I thought he had abandoned me. I thought that he couldn't care for me anymore. Through that, I suffered from a series of different panic attacks and anxiety. I suffered from depression. I would often find myself just really in a place of self-loathing. It turned from how could God let this happen to me to how could God ever love me again? Going through a couple summers ago, I was sharing the story of my life with some campers, and I began to really understand what God's forgiveness truly meant. As I would sit there and be raw with them and open up my heart and tell them what was in my past, they had no judgments. They had no questions of, well, how could you have let that happen? Or why would you have let that happen? They were the ones that kind of brought that light to me again, where I was realizing, wow, God had never left my side, even though I thought he did, of sin and of hurt and of pain. And he's just ready to wrap me up in those big arms and say, my daughter, I have missed you so much, and I am so glad that you are back home with me. And that is a huge comfort. Refuge pulled me, along with God, out of those sins, and they've given me a home to feel safe and to feel comfortable. They've given me a place where I know I can go and be in community with people who love me and who love Christ. People who understand that mistakes happen and that the past is in the past, and that it does not define your present or your future. It's been a year since I have been able to stay out of any sexual sin, and I am very excited about that. God has worked in my heart so much, and he has shown me what his love is. He has broken the images that I thought love should be, and he has showed me what a godly love is supposed to look like.